This is Mumbai in 1782. Between Bombay Island and Worli lay the Great Breach, a violent tidal channel swallowing land twice a day. The solution was a vellard from the Portuguese vallado, an embankment to hold the sea back. Governor William Hornby took up the project, defying the court of directors of the East India Company, who warned that the cost was too high. Hornby moved forward anyway. Surveys began. Wooden tide markers pierced wet earth. Currents were studied across seasons. Basalt from nearby hills was cut with iron chisels and wooden mallets. Rubble and soil from Malabar Hill, Parel, and Mazgaon became the fill. Bullock carts creaked across exposed mud flats at low tide. Country boats ferried loads through shifting waters. Men stood waist deep in the creek, placing rock upon rock as the tide forced its way between them. Sections failed. Water broke through. They rebuilt, heavier, tighter, determined. In 1784, the Hornby Vellard was complete. Hundreds of acres of marsh began to harden and dry. For defying orders, Hornby was suspended. But the embankment had set something irreversible in motion. Causeways followed. Sion, Mahim, and then Colaba, each one slowly stitching the islands together. Across this growing network, toll gates became standard policy. A pedestrian paid a few pies, a loaded bullock cart paid more, palanquins, carriages, and elephants paid higher still. The Sion Causeway, completed in 1803, was partly financed by Indian merchant capital. Jagannath Shankar Seth, one of Bombay's leading philanthropists, had stepped forward. In the 1840s, after repeated tragedies and after the government refused funding, Lady Awabai Jamshedji Jijibhoy financed the Mahim Causeway, but she insisted on one condition: no toll would ever be charged on that road. And with that, by 1845, thousands of acres had been reclaimed from the sea. The islands were no longer islands. Bombay had become one connected landmass. And once the land was bound together, a new idea began to gather momentum. This is Mumbai in 1853. At Bori Bandar stood a strange new machine, a steam locomotive of the Great Indian Peninsula Railway. 400 invited guests filled 14 wooden carriages. 3 engines, Sahib, Sindh and Sultan, prepared to pull the train. At 3:35 in the afternoon, a 21-gun salute echoed across the harbour, and the first railway in India began its journey. 34 kilometers, Bombay to Thane. But this train was not built for spectacle alone. Trade was expanding. Commerce was accelerating. Yet the wealth of Western India lay far inland. Cotton from the Deccan Plateau, from Berar, Khandesh and Gujarat, still travelled for weeks by bullock cart and pack animal before reaching the port of Bombay. Merchants needed a faster solution: railways. The Great Indian Peninsula Railway began pushing tracks inland. Bombay reached Kalyan in 1854, and soon the line climbed further towards Nashik through the Thal Ghat and towards Pune across the Bhor Ghat, linking Bombay directly to the cotton fields of the Deccan. Then, in 1861, the American Civil War erupted. The southern United States, Britain's main cotton supplier, was suddenly cut off. Lancashire's mills faced a crisis. They needed cotton. India became the answer. Cotton began pouring into Bombay from the Deccan hinterland, carried faster than ever before by rail. Exports surged. Prices soared. Merchants made fortunes in what became known as the Bombay cotton boom. But a new question emerged. If cotton was already arriving in Bombay, why send it to Britain to be turned into cloth? Why not manufacture it here? Kuwasji Nana Bhoi Dawar founded Bombay's first textile mill, the Bombay Spinning and Weaving Company at Tardeo. Its success proved that industry could thrive in the city. Soon, mills multiplied. Tall chimneys rose across Parel, Lalbagh and Bhaikla. Workers arrived from villages across the Deccan and Konkan, drawn by factory wages. Entire neighborhoods formed around the mills. The district came to be known as Giranga, the village of mills. As the workforce grew and the city expanded, people began living farther from where they worked. Short-distance passenger services began linking nearby settlements, Bhaikla, Dadar, Kurla, and Thane. Over time, These routes evolved into the Bombay Suburban Railway, today's local trains. Bombay was no longer just a port. The railways had changed everything. Cotton built fortunes, mills reshaped the skyline, and Bombay was rising toward a new title, Urbs Prima in Indies, the first city of India.
Keep moving, don't block the entrance.
Platform 3 is this way, hurry up.
Watch out for the truck.
है दिल है मुश्किल जीना यहाँ, जरा हट के जरा बच के, ये है बम्बे मेरी जान। हा हा हो ही हा हा। है दिल है मुश्किल जीना यहाँ, जरा हट के जरा बच के। है दिल है मुश्किल जीना यहाँ, जरा हट के जरा बच के, ये है बॉम्बे मेरी जान।